A nondescript strip mall tucked away off Kellogg near Oliver in East Wichita. Today, it's mostly empty. Not much to talk about.
She didn't come home.
Victims were also shot execution style.
They came up with this sketch of the suspect. Businesses also want security guards carrying guns.
But rewind the clock 30 years, and it's the scene of a night some Wichitans will never forget.
The one thought that really has haunted me and still does is what those two girls felt moments before it happened, the fear and terror that they felt. And there's nothing I can do.
Mark Majors remembers everything about April 11th, 1992. He was at home having just made dinner for him and his wife Patricia, waiting for her to get back from a long day at working at her bridal shop. After trying to get a hold of her for several minutes, Majors decided to go and check on her.
I got to the store and there were police everywhere and tape up, and I ran in towards the store.
Majors was at the police station the rest of the night, even having to be the one to identify the bodies. All these years later, the wounds of his loss still sit with him.
So far, I've been able to live life. It hasn't been easy. Waking up every morning and rolling over and not having the person that you loved more than anybody on the face of the earth, and she's not there. Every morning.
But as time has marched on, Major says the pain has faded, replaced with the good memories of Patricia.
She was just one of those people that had the personality that people enjoyed to be around, and I certainly did, and I felt very blessed that God chose me to spend 12 years with her.
Patricia Majors and her co-worker Patricia Smith were two of the I-70 serial killer's 6 victims in 5 different cities across 3 states. Back in October, the Wichita Police Department participated in a meeting in St. Charles, Missouri, with agencies from every city and state involved to go over any potential new facts or look at new technology to crack the cold case. WPD says they've not had any new information come out of that meeting from last year, but another department about 600 miles away from Wichita is seeing some movement.
It's disappointing that it's taken this long to bring any type of closure to these families, and that's what we concentrate on. We're advocates for these families out there. Their loved ones have been killed.
During that meeting, each one of the departments picked some items to send off for renewed DNA testing with the hopes of finding out who killed those women 30 years ago.
It gives us a lot of hope. I mean, obviously there's no guarantee that everything that's being sent off is going to yield actual biological result that gives us the DNA profile that we're hoping for. But I think that it's much, much higher percentage now that we're closer to solving than we were even 5 years ago.
Major says he always keeps an eye on the case for new developments like this, but he doesn't let himself get too carried away.
I try not to get my hopes up because, what they find, they find. I try not to get over emotional about that, but it is exciting that they've, I'm very appreciative of all of the agencies that are involved.
Help us locate this individual.
Major says he's not sure how he'd feel if the police ever catch his wife's murderer.
I don't know what the right word would be, whether it be satisfaction or comfort. I probably won't know that until it happens.
Looking back on the 30 years since that night in April, Major says it's taken a lot to get him here. The 2 biggest supports in his life have been his faith and his friends.
I'm in touch with those people daily and have been for 20 years. And I keep them, I cherish every one of them. More than they'll ever know, because they've saved my life.
We asked Mark Majors why he's telling his story once again now, and he says it's because he's hoping it will spark a memory in someone who saw something that might help police finally solve his wife's murder. Jackson Overstreet, KAKE News on your side.